Arsenal have been handed a boost. Look, there's a lot of negativity swirling around Arsenal at the minute. But if you want to hear something positive, stay where you are. Because there are some reasons to be excited if you're an Arsenal fan. And we're going to speak about them in this video. Before we get into it though, do me a quick favour. If you could, please just hit like on this video. So Arsenal are playing Leicester tomorrow. And before I get into the video, I just wanted to ask people what their score prediction is for the Arsenal versus Leicester game. And if anyone is clever enough to get it right, in the breakdown video after the game, I'll flash up and give you a shout out on screen. Whoever was able to get it correct. So let me know your Arsenal versus Leicester score prediction. Look, what am I talking about? Like, there are reasons to be positive if you're an Arsenal fan. I think it's very easy when things kind of like start to go wrong to just fall into this negative thought pattern, assume the worst on every single thing. But if you look at it rationally, if you look at things as it currently stands, Arsenal are in a good position. Look, Arsenal are still in a good position in the league. You could still say they're in the Premier League title race, and we've been handed in like a bit of a lifeline because Everton got a draw with Liverpool. Liverpool are now only 7 points ahead of Arsenal, and some people might say, yeah, but we got no striker. But like, the way I look at it right now, yeah, is if Arsenal can get through this next 5 or 6 week period, our squad will be strong enough to, again, to compete with any team in world football. I genuinely believe that, because if you get Martinelli and Saka back, like, how many of us were calling for Martinelli to be played striker last season when his form wasn't that great? You've got the option to do that now. So when you get Saka and Martinelli back in 5-6 weeks' time, you can have Martinelli down the middle, Trossard on the left, Saka on the right. That's still a brilliant team. You got Odegaard, Partey, Declan Rice in behind. That's still a world-class team. Like, it is just this next 5 or 6 week period that we're going to have to kind of, I don't know, just get the results however it happens. Like I said, we've got some games coming up. We've got Leicester tomorrow, which is a winnable game. You got West Ham after that, which again is a winnable game. And then you go into 3 games where it's like, right, these games are difficult. You've just got to get through this next 5 or 6 week period, and then I think Arsenal are in a really good position. Look, that starts tomorrow against Leicester. Let me know your guys' thoughts though, because there's a lot of kind of conversation that Arsenal are 100% out of the title race at the minute, and I'm not ready to say that still. You guys know my thoughts. Until it's impossible, I'm always going to cling on. I'm always going to be the guy saying, yeah, but there's still a chance. And there is still a chance. 7 points is not a gap that I look at and say Arsenal can't bridge that gap. 7 points. We still got to play Liverpool. That's like, what, 4 points after? If we go to Liverpool and beat them, they're 4 points ahead of us. Like I said, we're in a difficult position. Now, the fact we haven't got a recognised striker, some people would say Kai Havertz isn't a recognised striker anyway, so even without Havertz, like I said, you've got Martinelli up top, we can still do things. In this Leicester team, against this Leicester team, I'm not going to go into detail the tactical things that Arsenal can do against Leicester. Just go there and get the win. It's going to be a makeshift team, kind of. I want to know people's team predictions or what team they would pick against Leicester, because there's so many variations of teams I'm seeing. Some of them are crazy, by the way. Like, I'm hearing shouts of people saying I'd stick Tierney left wing, Calafiori up front. And look, I understand the kind of thought process behind it of, I've seen Calafiori score a decent goal. I think Tierney can do a job out there. But it would be very, very difficult for those players. I think it would look weird if you got a defender at left back playing left wing and another left back or centre back playing centre forward. I don't think that would be the most effective way to tackle it. I think, look, Tierney is a player that so many of us like, but playing on the left wing, even though Sterling isn't doing great, I personally would still prefer Sterling in that position because it's literally his position. This is where he plays. So, yeah, I wouldn't go Tierney at left wing. In the second half, maybe, say if we're 0-0 and Sterling's having a stinker, 70 minutes go by, I would then, yeah, fine, play Tierney at left wing and see if he can do something and surprise a few people. Maybe he can create a chance. Maybe with his workmanlike attitude, he can just make something happen. I wouldn't be opposed to seeing it then, but I wouldn't start Tierney at left wing. And the same with Calafiori up front. I'd rather see Trossard there. I'd rather see Nwaneri there before I see Calafiori up front, if I'm being honest. But I don't know what these guys are like in training. You always have to say that because, like, Calafiori could be unbelievable at striking a ball, at finishing. In training, it's just something I've never seen. So until I have the proof and actually see it in person, I wouldn't say stick Calafiori as a striker because I think he would just look like a centre-back playing striker. I like the thought of it, but I think when it's actually in front of you and you see a centre-back playing as a striker in the Premier League, I think it's very, very difficult for that player to score a goal, essentially. So, look, team selection, I would go with David Raya, Timber. It's obviously brilliant news that we're hearing that Ben White will be back available for this game. I don't start him. I maybe bring him on in the second half. And everyone knows my thoughts on Ben White. Once Ben White is 100% fit, he starts for me every single game. I think he's unbelievable. But for this game, I go Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, Miles Lewis-Skelly at left back. In the 6th role, Thomas Partey. Ahead of him, Declan Rice, Odegaard, and then your front three will be Nwaneri. I think he's going to score in this game. I can't wait to see the trouble he's going to cause on that right-hand side. And then you've got to go Sterling on the left and then Leandro Trossard up front. Trossard needs to start scoring. Like how many goals did he have last season? 15 goals. I think he's got like 4 goals this season. So he needs to start picking up some form. And this is the perfect opportunity. It's like, sometimes with Trossard, he might think that he's not a guaranteed starter, so maybe that affects him mentally. But now knowing he's going to start the next 4 or 5 games every single time and probably play most of the games, if not every single minute of every game, maybe that will give him the mind frame needed to say, right, listen, let's go and score some goals now. Let's show people what I can do. Hopefully Trossard has that mentality, and I back Trossard because I do think he's a good player. When he's on form, he's unbelievable. So yeah, I'll be interested to see how that Arsenal team get on. In terms of a score prediction, for me, I'm going to go with I think we'll keep a clean sheet. I'm going to go with a 2-0 win to Arsenal. I still think we can score 2 goals. I think Leicester are going to struggle to score against us. That might be famous last words. But I think, look, you got players like Nwaneri, you got Trossard, you got Sterling, right? Trossard and Sterling probably aren't in the best form of their careers, but we know what these players can do. Sterling, we're still yet to see it. And again, like I just said with Trossard, this is the perfect moment for Raheem Sterling as well. If he's ever going to get a chance to show that he can still play at the top level, this is the chance. This is the chance he would have been begging for. A consistent run of games, 5-6 games maybe, where he's going to start every single game. We need to see it now. This is Raheem Sterling's last chance to show, maybe not even Arsenal, other clubs, because we're not going to sign him next season permanently. So if he's going to show that he can still play in the Premier League, but he needs to score some goals here. Because if Arsenal don't buy him, maybe one of the lower league teams in the Premier League at the end of the season will buy him and he can still have a career in the Premier League, Raheem Sterling. Or even other clubs across Europe, they'll be watching and saying, right, let's watch Raheem Sterling now, because if he can score a few goals, we'll grab him next season because he's going to be available for cheap. Chelsea are not going to want a big fee for Raheem Sterling. So this is Raheem Sterling's chance, and I hope he can do it. I don't know. Let me know your guys' thoughts on everything you've heard in this video. What is your score prediction? Do you think Arsenal can beat Leicester, beat West Ham, and then go into those more difficult games with some momentum behind them? What are your thoughts on Nwaneri? What are your thoughts of people saying they think Calafiori can play as a striker and Tierney as left wing? Like I said, I've heard it. I've seen it in the comment sections before, people saying stick Tierney at left wing. I think I've even spoke about it. Like I said, I'm not opposed to it, but to start the game, I would go more, I don't know, traditional, I guess. Sterling left, Trossard up front, and Nwaneri on the right. I'm backing Nwaneri to score 2-0 to Arsenal. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Thanks so much to everyone for watching and listening. Before you go, like I said, do me a quick favour. Just hit like and subscribe, and I'll speak to you all in tomorrow's video. Gooners, have a good day.